On the play, intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding on the offense. Intentional grounding, number 1.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 15.
Yo, welcome in.
Yo.
Week 7.
Yeah. No.
Episode 7.
Yes.
Crazy. Week 5.
Week 5.
Here we go.
No
Jumping
love
in.
in Oklahoma.
All right.
We had
Dual
a
Oklahoma losses.
huge Saturday. It all came down to the Mormons of the BYU leading the charge. We had the Wolfpack really trying their best.
We're leading with that.
And the Duke Blue Devils are 4 weeks in.
We're leading with that too.
You're really
The Duke
hitting the
Blue
hard
Devils are
pressing game,
undefeated
too.
through week 5. So if you'd have told me that a long time ago, I don't think I would have believed it. So what's our agenda today, Binky? I don't have it pulled up.
Yep, we are we're going to jump in just some news, kind of higher level
Bigger
topics
picture.
here. Sorry, I don't like that word.
Yeah.
We're going to jump into some SEC recap, and then ACC, Big 12, Big 10, and Group of 5, brought to you by Bridgestone Tires.
As a shout out, not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
But sponsored by.
Yeah.
Shout out Hampton Farms Peanuts as well. We
Yeah.
are still working
Shout
out.
out Hampton Farms Peanuts.
I'm allergic to peanuts. Can we not?
Wait, are you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
God.
It's pretty crippling.
Shoot.
Yeah, man. Be careful out there.
I watched the Super Bowl from the ER this year
This-
because I had a peanut butter cookie at halftime.
Oh, no.
Dude, this
Yeah.
is not the house that you want to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
literally have a
It's
cat
good to know
named
7
Peanut.
episodes in. That's
There's
really
so many
cool.
peanuts in
Wait,
that
have you
pantry.
ever had peanut butter, or were you like born with this like ailment?
That's good. I don't know about the
Like, did you
second
like
question.
start eating peanut butter when you were little, and then you're like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I can't breathe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Before we jump into some of our conference segments here, let's jump into just some news from the week. Some things surfaced today and over the past few days. App State, Alex, go ahead and tell us a little bit.
Yeah.
App State, Alex,
Yeah.
go ahead and tell us a little bit more about what happened with Tulane, Memphis, and Tulsa.
Yeah, that's a great segue. So we had a couple of news, had a couple big things happen. Pac-12 is still growing. If you listened last week, they added a bunch of schools to their conference, all with the last name state. Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, and San Diego State all joined the Pac-12. So now they're the six-pack. They're looking, and it was rumored that they were going to be poaching. Who is it? UTSA,
Memphis, UTSA,
and Tulane from
South
the
Florida.
Who
and
was it
South
that
Florida.
who got ball sacked on that one?
That was fake.
Was
Yeah.
that fake? Well, no, they were.
I think Alex just
That
got
was you,
I think
wasn't it?
Alex. I think
No,
both
that was
Alex
you. You
just got
said
ball
that.
sacked here.
No. That was actually real because they were actually looking at the conference realignment. They were looking at adding them. The news is that they either, if that wasn't real, Tulane and Memphis are supposed to go on public press conference today and show
So it
support
was
for the
announced.
American. Yeah.
Yeah, so
To
they
join
made the
what
announcement.
conference?
They made the announcement that they are
You say
going.
Tulane
They're
and
staying.
Tulsa?
So
They're staying.
Memphis, South Florida, UTSA, and Tulane hit us with Leo DiCaprio.
Like,
I ain't leaving.
Hey,
I ain't
we gotta tread lightly with Leo DiCaprio. here.
That's
yeah, that's true.
fair.
That's true
Fair.
with all the
But they're staying.
allegations.
They're staying.
Yeah.
They are
No,
holding
not
down the
him.
American Athletic Conference.
But I will say the tweet said that they did not confirm that they're staying. They said they are about to confirm that they're staying. So
Well, they
maybe
Explicitly
somebody's
have-
swooping.
have
So I don't know
Absolute
where.
bombshell for the landscape of college football.
So many implications
Yeah.
there.
I mean, weird stuff. Texas State is now rumored for the Pac-12 as well. So we'll see if they can actually land any big teams. If they could get Cal and Stanford to come back home. If they could convince SMU that they're not making any money, and they could at least come make some money at the Pac-12.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Another
Pac-12
thing-
might have a pulse.
Yeah.
Might have a pulse here.
It might be back. I would love to see the American die. I'm not a big fan of them, but
it's not a great
Wow.
conference.
Speaking
Yeah.
of the Pac-12, I didn't even know this was happening. Reggie Bush is suing USC.
Yeah.
Pac-12 and NCAA?
Yeah, that is live breaking news the past couple hours, actually. So,
Was
Reggie
it today?
Bush.
Was it actually today?
Yeah, it was today.
Really?
Yeah, he announced.
Good. Is he suing the Heisman Foundation? No, he already got his Heisman back, right?
Yeah, he got his Heisman back. Now he's suing everyone else. He's on a comeback tour. He's got his shades on. And
That's
he's
why
coming
he's on
through.
the commercials.
Yeah. But yeah, so Reggie Bush he made money in college, but then they took away his Heisman and took away all of his records. So now that everything he did is legal now, he's like, hey, come on. What? Like, can I get everything back?
This article said the former star never received dollars from USC for playing. Are we
Close.
Are we buying that?
Is that on? Did On3 say that?
I think that's what he's alleging in the.
You know what? Maybe he never actually received dollars. Maybe
Right.
he received things that weren't dollars.
Right.
Like cars.
Do checks with cars? Do checks with dollars on them count?
He could have checked.
Yeah, they're not dollars.
They're not dollars.
They're checks.
Visa credit cards.
Right.
Worth
V-Bucks
millions.
back then. V-Bucks.
Man,
V-Bucks.
Dude, iTunes gift cards.
That would be electric, actually.
You know
That-
how
Oh
many
my God.
songs you could buy? What he
Dude, when I
probably
could
got?
buy
Oh, he's so many.
$14.99 songs
So
with my
many.
little
That'd be
stocking
so
stuffer
good.
gift card, man.
That's all I need. And then to round out from my end, as far as news, App State is stupid. I'm renouncing all my fandom. I'm not actually, but I'm really mad we lost. And in a board meeting, the day after we lost,
What was the
one of our biggest board donors went on there and said that, hey, you know what? Everyone's mad that we lost, but at the end of the day, no one's going to remember if you win or lose. They're just going to remember the memories you make at football games.
They didn't
No
say that.
That person was
That did
asked
not
to
happen.
leave.
That did happen at the board meeting, and he absolutely got roasted on Twitter. Every fan.
That guy's gotta go.
Brother,
He
this
is
guy
the big. His name is on the
stinks.
stadium. He's
You know
one of
who-
the biggest donors to App State's
So he just
football
doesn't care.
program.
You know who else needs to go? Sean Clark.
You're calling for it?
I'm calling for it, dude.
Yeah.
People have
It's
been
time.
calling for it, but
It's
just
time.
because it is his time.
Yeah, he's probably done. I would love for him. I don't want him to get fired now. It's like 4 games in.
Yeah,
You know,
but
I don't want
if
to not
y'all
have a
go,
coach.
I would say if y'all go through like half the season,
Every season, he always like starts out flat and then wins like 6 games enough to get a bowl. And
but
then
what if you miss a bowl?
He's missed a bowl already. He's already the only time we've ever missed a bowl. He's been the coach.
Yes, but this year there were high expectations for the team.
Yeah, it's true.
I think he could reverse some damage if y'all beat Liberty this week.
Yeah, but
That'd be
I kind of
interesting.
don't want us to.
That would be
if
honestly
would be-
class. That would be very classic
Yeah.
App State.
Yeah. It just
Everyone's
doesn't-
out.
Yeah.
All fans are out, and then they have
Yeah.
a big win. And
Comes back. This
Like,
is,
this
yeah.
is the best program ever.
yeah,
We'll see what happens, man. But so if anybody needs 4 tickets to Liberty game, I have them for sale. You can email us at intentiongroundingpod@gmail.com, and I'll sell them to you for $1,000 each. But going on to any other news for recap? Binky, how was Oklahoma? Tell the fans about the glories that you did. Not the
Oklahoma.
altercations you got into, but the actual the meals, any kind
He
of.
literally said, "Don't say anything."
No, I didn't say anything.
all the altercations that I had were positive. I actually mean this. I've been to, I think, 7 different SEC stadiums, and Oklahoma Stadium's fine, but as far as a fan base, the nicest people I've ever met in my life. I think I had 3 drinks throughout the day bought for me by Oklahoma fans. At least 15 to 20 times an Oklahoma fan would come up to me and my buddies and say, "Hey, welcome to Norman. We're so glad you're here." And it's just not what I'm used to.
That's
Being
so
an SEC
nice.
fan, typically used to getting bottles of pee thrown at us.
Yeah,
but
dude, that's that SEC money talking. When they're on the bottom, they got to be nice. They got to be nice to get in with the SEC people.
Incentivized to
There's no damn way that they are not nice.
they were nice to me outside of one person, but we don't need to talk about that. Grace abounds and all is forgiven.
What a wonderful segue.
But Oklahoma truly was, it was a great trip. The Vols are elite. I think it's official. The Vols are elite this year, which brings me so much joy.
I don't know that they could win a national title, but I wouldn't
No.
be surprised if they got some good matchups and made it
We're-
to the semis.
I actually think we're a championship contender. The thing about, I guess I'll just segue right into the SEC. Start off with Tennessee, Oklahoma here.
Smooth.
Tennessee, final score is 25-15. I don't think that score is indicative at all as to how that game actually played out. Tennessee dominated from start to finish.
It was 19-3 at the half, right?
Yeah, 25-3 at one point, or 22-3 at one point, forgive me. Tennessee dominated. Again, I'll continue to say it. Best D-line in the SEC, potentially best D-line in the country. Ate Oklahoma's O-line up, which we knew going into the game was not super great, but I think we had 15 tackles for loss in that game.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
It's not bad.
2 fumbles, 1 interception. So defense dominated. And for those of you Tennessee fans out there, probably 4 or 5 listening, you know that when Josh Heupel got hired from UCF to come to Tennessee, a lot of the media was just saying that he's just this air raid Mike Leach type coach, which is just hilarious because we run the ball, I think, more than any teams in the SEC. And it's just been really cool over the last 4 years to see him adapt and evolve as the talent at Tennessee is peaking. That was a defensive win. Our defense is absolutely dominant. So throw in an elite quarterback with an elite offense and then an elite defense. I think that's the makings of a championship team. So, and that was on full display in Norman. So shout out to the Vols. It was an awesome trip. Oklahoma fans are great. The Vols roll into a much needed bye weekend before playing night game in Fayetteville, Arkansas in 2 weeks. So outside of the Vols, my Tennessee Volunteers, there were a couple of close games in the Southeastern Conference this week. Some surprisingly pretty close games. Texas A&M.
What is going on, man?
Barely squeaked out a win against Bowling Green at home. Final score there was 26-20.
That was an insane game.
Did not actually watch any of that game, but just looking at some of the stats, looked kind of like a snooze fest, but that's okay. A win is a win is a win.
Is the MAC like the conference this year?
Bowling Green's actually pretty good.
Yeah, Bowling Green, I mean...
Northern Illinois, Bowling Green, Toledo.
Yeah.
Frisky teams.
They're frisky and fun, as Big Cat would say.
Binky, going back to, I was just looking at Tennessee's schedule. Are you more worried about playing Georgia November 16th or... All right, let me give you 2 scenarios.
Okay.
You're undefeated. End of the season, you're playing Vandy. Do you like that? The way that Vandy's been playing with more heart.
That's we're gonna move on to.
I'm just saying. Do you like it? I'm not saying.
Wait. So you're saying, do I like it if we're undefeated?
Would you rather lose to Georgia? And then play you play Vandy, play your schedule out, and then you win out the rest, or would you rather go undefeated and then you beat Georgia? That'd be crazy. Destroy UTEP, and then you end the season playing Vandy.
So you're saying, would I rather what?
Would you rather beat Georgia or lose to Georgia? Is what I heard Alex ask you.
I think bullshit questions.
I think if you beat Georgia, then you 100% beat Vandy. But if you don't beat Georgia, then you. 100%. No, I'm saying if you don't beat Georgia.
Oh, okay, I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
So
I think they're going to overlook Vandy if they go undefeated.
Sure. Let's one game at a time. We got a bye week this week, then we got Arkansas, and we'll get there. But the Vols are elite. Regardless.
Are you worried about Mississippi State at all?
No. Negative.
And Kentucky's obviously a win. Alabama's a win. Florida's a win. Arkansas.
Arkansas is harder than I thought it would be.
Yes, people are saying it's a trap game for Tennessee. I think it would be a trap game if we would be playing this upcoming weekend after coming off of a huge emotional win. Granted, all the storylines are on the Oklahoma-Tennessee game. We're missing our 2 starting offensive linemen in this game. So that would worry me a little bit, but the fact that we have a bye weekend this week to rest up, get healthy, and go into Fayetteville.
When's the last time that Vanderbilt actually beat Tennessee? Like, was it 80s, 90s?
No, they beat us early... I think late 2010s, I'm pretty sure, under Botch Jones. Moving past Tennessee, Oklahoma.
They're not going to lose. There's no way that happens.
We talked Bowling Green, A&M. A&M squeaked out a win against Bowling Green in College Station. They have a interesting matchup with Arkansas this weekend. Speaking of Arkansas, the Razorbacks, the Razorbacks are pretty good. I think they might save Sam Pittman's job this year. Auburn, it's one of those things, and I was talking with my dad about this. Is it that Arkansas is better than we expected, or Auburn just really sucks? And I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think both are true. I know that Auburn decided not to spend a lot of money this year from a transfer portal perspective because they think next year is a window they can win.
They're recruiting really well right now.
I think that is probably true.
Yeah. Arkansas pulled out the dub on the Plains at Auburn, 24-14. All things good for the Razorbacks. There is trouble for sure, at least for this year. Who knows what's going to happen next year? There's trouble in Auburn. A lot of criticism in the news as of these last few days with Hugh Freeze and the way he threw his players under the bus for that loss, his quarterback specifically.
Well, he's a man of high ethics, so that's really surprising to hear. It's pretty strange.
Yeah, we could spend a whole podcast on the rise and fall and potential rise again on Hugh Freeze.
I actually don't remember. What did he get in trouble for? It was before Liberty, right?
This was when he was the head coach at Ole Miss. He got caught using university phones to order prostitutes to his house and to the complex, and I think
For him or for players?
for him.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought it was both, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't really matter, but details matter.
It's more or
And
less.
then
Yeah.
Liberty said, "That is our guy."
Yeah, Liberty's like, we've been praying for a man
God's
like
college said yes.
he comes over and does
The Lord
resurrect their
has sent
football
you.
program. But
He kind of did. I mean,
yeah, Malik Willis, insane.
Yeah, shout out
I mean,
Packers.
when you have
and now
the-
Jamie Chadwell is just taking it over and running with
You
it.
have the consistently easiest conference to play in.
They didn't even have a conference then, I don't think. They were like independent when Hugh Freeze was there. And so now they're just
They're in the CUSA, just
the
doing
CUSAs.
whatever.
Yeah, they're crushing. Arkansas, good win. Great win for Arkansas. Very bad loss for Auburn. LSU dominated UCLA. Weird matchup. LSU's now played USC and UCLA this year, which is kind of fascinating to me.
They're Big Ten teams.
I know. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Not sure
remember.
why they scheduled two of them, but let's see here. We got South Carolina bombshelled Akron, Ole Miss bombshelled Georgia Southern, Texas bombshelled UL Monroe. Nothing super interesting there. Last point of note
Should we
is
congratulate Billy Napier on maybe getting
Yeah.
his last win
Yeah.
in the SEC?
yeah,
Yeah.
clap it up.
Good job, Billy.
Good job, buddy.
Billy. I mean, God, Mississippi State sucks.
They are.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, they're horrible.
Horrific.
What was the final score?
45-28,
Wow.
Florida. I think DJ Lagway came in at this point. And for those who are not aware, DJ Lagway, I think, was like top 3 quarterback recruit in the country last year. It's going to be so interesting to see how this stuff with Florida plays out. They pulled out a big win, but I still think it's inevitable that Billy Napier gets fired. We're not going to spend too much time on Florida because last week we did say that we're not going to talk about them too much until Billy gets fired.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that coaching search is going to be, it's going to be awesome.
Just Lane Kiffin.
Last note on the SEC here: Vanderbilt at Missouri.
Insane
This is
game.
my Missouri hate corner. Eli Dorkwitz hate corner here. Missouri did win the game. Missouri did win the game in double overtime. But do y'all want to know how they won the game?
I don't want to relive that. That was
Vandy
brutal.
missed the double
They-
overtime kick.
They
didn't
missed the double overtime kick to send it into triple,
Yeah.
where I think Diego Pavia was going to seal the dub there.
Yeah.
Missouri,
I would say
they
this-
might not be that good.
No, so Missouri did this last year too. If you look at their schedule last year, they had like 4 or 5 games where they won by like a single score. So I think they're just the same as
That's-
last year.
They lost a ton of talent off their defense, if
That's
I remember.
dicey.
Yeah, their
though,
defense was
like,
really good last
yeah.
year too. Their offense is still electric.
Luther
That's
Burden
just not the
is-
sign.
Yeah.
It's not the sign of a. They're a good team for sure. They're a good team. Missouri's
They
a good
also,
team.
I think their schedule is one of the easiest in the SEC this year.
and they have almost fumbled 2 games already.
Yeah.
Missouri
Like, let's look
might
at it.
be on watch. I mean, granted, they have a absolutely candy ass schedule.
I mean, they're still undefeated.
They're but
And like, they did really well at first.
I think there's cause for concern in Como. As
You're
people-
speaking
gonna-
from a
they're gonna
high
drop.
tower from someone that doesn't have to play them this
They're
year.
going to drop one
I
of
would
these
love to
games.
play.
Would you be
Missouri this
nervous
year.
if you played them at all?
Of course, I'm nervous
Okay.
for every game.
I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Mizzou. We'll keep our eye on them. Arch Manning played. Woo Hooray, hooray. Congrats, man.
He did bad, but then good. He
Yeah.
had 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that first pick was kind of.
It's gonna be interesting to see if he's starting when they play Georgia in third week in October. Let's see when. I'm not sure what Quinn Ewers' timeline is, but
I feel like he'll be back.
yeah, he should be. But that would be fat. That's when you get to kind of really see what he's made
can
of.
do.
Mizzou has just to interject. They have a bye. I think so. That game, though, I will say Mizzou is less good probably than we thought, and Vandy is more good than
I think
they
that's
have
very
ever
fair.
been.
That's very fair.
Texas A&M is their next game, October 5th. That'll be a fun matchup.
Is that in College Station?
Kyle
It
Field.
is.
All right.
And then they got UMass, Auburn, and then they got Alabama, Oklahoma. So they got some toughies there. I mean, if they can lose 2 games, if their 2 losses are Alabama and Oklahoma, do you think they still get in?
No,
You think they're out?
I don't.
You think if they win one of those games, they're in?
If they beat Bama, they're in. But that means they have to win the rest of the games they're supposed to. That's just my opinion.
A lot of
That's fair.
hypotheticals.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah, a
hypotheticals,
lot of
but let's
stuff.
talk about the here and now. That is my SEC segment. Let's pass it over to our ACC.
We're going to the ASS.
Yep.
ASS.
Which I have- You go ahead, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna have some comments here towards the end.
Let's review the good. Congrats, Miami. You beat South Florida by 35.
Pretty good.
Great job. That was good. They look really good. Cam Ward.
Let's hit on something real quick.
Yeah.
Binky, before the game time went on, said that he's not a betting man, but if he would bet that USF would cover, and
that was a bad beat.
they didn't.
Bad beat. That is why I am not the betting man.
Yeah.
So the
it's good not to
reason
bet.
the reason that I am in
That's
on
all.
Miami. Yeah. That's all.
Thanks for calling me out, Pat. Love you.
We have Juice.
Yeah.
For a reason. Who's killing it, by the way?
He's doing well.
picks. There's a fun clip going around of Cam Ward at the line of scrimmage. I think it's like 1st and goal from the 1, and he's like pointing at the gap that they're going to run the football in, and he tells the defense.
Yeah.
And then they just like blow them away, like in that gap, like Cam Newton-esque from that clip forever ago.
Oh, yeah.
So Miami's still good. Clemson looked a lot better.
Yep.
I think we all watched.
Clemson
that.
might be good.
They might be.
Why are we
They
saying
might be
why?
good.
I think Clemson is good. I think
think-
they played an opening game against
Against the
number,
best team in
like-
the
the
country.
best team in the country.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they have scored outrageous amount of points
They
in
are-
these past 3 weeks.
I don't want to say that they're really good. I don't think they're a playoff team, but I think they could compete in the ACC.
I think they could be a playoff team. I think
They'll-
They still haven't played anybody. They played us and they played State, who are not great known for their defenses right now.
They are looking like trash, but
they
I-
are still good.
it like Clemson can win out. I'm trying to remember who they play the rest of the year. But if they make the ACC title game and lose,
I got you.
and they have wins over Louisville at that point, Virginia Tech, Pitt, South Carolina, FS.
we've got a cakewalk.
Yeah, that Louisville game could be interesting in November. But I think you'd have enough to get in as a 10-2, or you would be 11-2 because you would have won out and then lost the title game to Miami.
Yep.
I think they're close to really good team. They look good.
Yeah.
Also looking really good right now is Louisville.
Yeah.
They beat Georgia Tech 31-19 at home. I think we were kind of wondering what we'd get from Tyler Shuck, their quarterback, who hasn't been healthy enough to play.
Which is
a
crazy
full
because I
season.
think Binky at the beginning of the season, like after Georgia Tech won, came in and said that they were going to win the ACC, and then they got blown out. And
Yeah,
it was
was
super
that-
wild.
Who is this?
Yeah, I also remember somebody saying they were going to make the college football playoff.
I know
after
that's what
1 week.
that
was that Binky?
the crazy thing.
Was
yeah,
that, yeah, that
It
was
had to be.
an Alex for sure.
It sounded like him.
Disclaimer: that was not me. That was Alex Gillen.
Yeah. So, I'd also like to shout out Stanford for their first ever
ACC dub
ACC dub. That's really exciting.
and Florida State.
Yeah,
got
they
their
defended,
first dub.
They defended Woke Campbell Stadium.
They did.
Yeah, the Calgorithm was slain.
Yeah.
They advanced to the foot of the stadium, and FSU said no more.
That's right.
I think Cal was actually the better team. And
Yeah,
they lost.
I would have loved Cal and Duke to be 4-0 this week in
That
the
would
ACC.
be incredible for the Devils deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Electric. Duke's still undefeated.
Outside of that good news, the ACC is turning into the ASS for a reason. The state of North Carolina horrific, disappointing. We talked
Yeah.
about Duke. Congrats on your Mickey Mouse schedule, but
Yeah.
UNC, awesome performance on Saturday.
Oh
Offensively,
my
they scored 50 points and had 616 yards
So
of offense. You would
they
take
won,
that.
right?
Yeah.
They
you would,
won,
you would
right?
that's a pretty good.
50 points. That's huge.
really good.
Great win.
That's more
Yeah.
than State will score all year.
They lost.
Did James
How-
Madison
what?
put up 70?
James Madison
lost by
put up
20.
70, and they lost by 20, putting up 50.
Oh my god.
So
An
at the
insane
half,
game.
the
It's a
stadium,
basketball score.
The stadium,
Yeah.
it was
That is a basketball score.
It was
Wow.
53-21 at the half. The stadium was empty. Mac Brown hysterically after the game may or may not have quit and then walked it back
He did.
in front of his players.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
That's
He's
terrible.
done.
That's
And
crazy.
also the ACC network said you can watch the rest of the game on ESPN
oh yeah, they
Plus.
kicked them. Yeah, they said
took
we
it off
the
got
TV.
we gotta.
Yeah, with 6 minutes left in the
They
game.
cut to Rutgers, Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
So
Which-
another stinker
which is insane.
of a team. I
Yeah.
mean, like.
Mac Brown also was very just like weird interview after, like,
Yeah. I mean, he's-
could not hold himself together, and then he was like, I might quit or whatever. I might have quit. I told him I'm not good enough to be here. He was like, Carolina should never lose to a Power 4 team, which they've lost to a
Non-Power
lot
4.
of Power 4, or they should never lose to a Power 5, a Group of 5 team, which I think their record versus Group of 5 is not very strong anyway, and so that's a weird claim
Yeah.
to make.
Well,
But and they're not
yeah.
a football school.
No,
it's
they're not.
such an interesting like woe is me.
They could be though. They like as an
They
NC
have the
State
money.
fan, they have the brand. Like, congrats,
The
you
money.
got
They've got their
You got
recruiting
both.
territory.
you've got money, you've got the brand of basketball, you've got a basketball player on your football jerseys. That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's no reason why you shouldn't be better than this.
Yeah.
And that's coming from a State fan who knows that like our program has a lower ceiling than
Yeah.
UNC does, in my opinion. Right now,
I disagree with that.
with where the program is right now,
Fair.
for the near term,
Yeah.
I think that's true. Not long term, but speaking of my beloved Wolfpack, we'll just make this pretty quick. Down 45-7 at the half, allowed 4 touchdowns in 13 minutes. The opening drive
Oh my
chart.
God.
What was it? Let's see here.
Did you say 4 touchdowns in 13 minutes?
I sure did, and we did not
Gabe
score any
Klubnik.
of
Who did y'all
those.
play? Oh,
We
Clemson,
played
that's right.
Clemson.
At Clemson.
These guys quit. These guys look terrible. Like,
Yeah.
they were not. There was not a lot of effort. I mean, one guy quit the team today. Like Red Hibbler, he's a backup but really talented pass rusher who was like not even trying on some plays. Like, the game opens, Clemson touchdown, punt, Clemson touchdown, fumble, Clemson touchdown, fumble, touchdown, missed field goal. All the bad things were NC State, all the good things were Clemson. So
Oh, buddy.
I started writing my little game recap at the start of the second quarter because that goose was cooked. And
Insane stat.
what's awesome is we were going to get kind of like a cupcake top 25 matchup at home in Northern Illinois, and then they lost to Buffalo. So now
Yep.
you don't have the top 25 opportunity at home, which is kind of funny. So yeah, that was really disappointing. Virginia Tech, I already touched on that. Losing to Rutgers at home is brutal. Like, NC State and Virginia Tech did get a lot of like sleeper love in the offseason, and both of them have kind of wilted with expectations, which is really disappointing.
Which is it's funny to think for Virginia Tech. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but they still haven't played an ACC game, right? So technically they're undefeated in the ACC.
That's true.
So they have an SEC loss and a Big Ten loss. So I mean, let's see what they can do against their ACC slate. But
You open
let's-
it up going to Miami this Friday.
Okay, that's a loss.
Wish you luck there. You got Clemson at home, like at Duke. At some point, that looks a little bit more challenging. Georgia Tech looks more challenging. Boston College looks more challenging.
Yeah.
Like, Bob is in town, so we'll see. I didn't really I haven't paid a lot of attention to Pitt, but they put 73 up on the scoreboard, which is pretty good.
There's a lot of big scores in college football this year.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, there's always big scores in college football, but I feel like there's been a lot more plus 60-point games this year than there have been, at least from what I'm aware of, in the past in college football.
I wonder, I don't know how to like quantify this, but with helmet comms in the game, some teams like State are saying we're going to snap the ball like every 40 seconds. Like we want to go as slow as possible. And for other teams, they're like, we can just get the play in, we can go. And like, there's such a wide variance in tempo and pace, and it allows you to go super quick and put up 73. Or
That's fair.
So I don't know how to mathematically give that out.
No,
but
no.
that's really
That's not
interesting.
your job. That's Juice's job.
That's true. Yeah, Juice. Can you? Thanks. I think that's it for the ACC.
Are we okay? This is my question or kind of comment I wanted to talk about with the ACC. Miami is clearly they are cream of the crop ACC, right?
Yep.
And then there's a little bit of fall off with Clemson, and until you get to Clemson, and then after that it just seems, and maybe Louisville. You can throw Louisville a notch or two below Clemson. And outside of that, it just seems
mid.
It seems like there's a very big drop off. But I will say, it seems like we're living in a world in which it's just going to be a Miami Clemson ACC championship.
Potentially.
Clemson has, I'm pretty sure, a candy schedule moving forward.
Miami doesn't play Louisville.
Miami doesn't play Louisville. Yeah, that's gonna.
I guess that was more of a question.
I think Miami does play Louisville.
Okay.
Oh,
So I guess that could
Dang,
be
I trusted you,
technically
man.
that could technically be our deciding factor.
Yeah, they play at Louisville on October 19th.
because more than likely. I mean, I
that's
guess
it.
Clemson plays Louisville too. What happens if there's like a triangle?
I think it's a strength of schedule thing.
Which Clemson does not have.
Yeah,
I mean, they have that Georgia game, but how
they
how
lost.
does it? Well, I know, but I'm saying also, didn't they lose by
35.
35 points? So yeah, your strength of schedule can be hard, but also if you're getting dominated by these teams, like how good of a look is that? Would you rather have a team in there that, like Louisville, that has a little bit better of a easier of a schedule, but has been kind of handling these teams?
So
again, we're getting into hype.
Yeah,
we're getting into semantics
it's actually
here.
head-to-head competition. Oh wait, no, I'm just that's obvious.
You might know Juice is coming. Just curious.
He texted and said he's not going to make it.
Cool. All right, we'll do a Juice corner later.
Yep.
Cool. I think that's all I got for the ASS, the All Coast Conference. Shout out Boston College maybe for beating Michigan State at home in a monsoon. That's cool, but Michigan State is kind of bad this year. So,
Hell yeah.
do we want to throw it to another conference?
Let's go Big 12.
Yeah,
let's talk
go.
about.
Let's go.
We might be asking some questions.
Let's talk about all the things. There's a lot of things going on in Big 12.
There's a lot of
That
big
was a
things.
crazy weekend this week. Big 12, I think, had the most exciting
It was a
weekend.
crazy weekend. Big 12, more like Big Ass.
Damn.
Honestly,
Okay.
here's
Shawty.
the thing, though.
That was my nickname in high school.
Here's the,
Yeah.
here's the thing. We also maybe maybe we don't suck.
Utah?
This is the same thing that happens every single year, where the Big 12 eats its
Cannibalizes
conference
itself.
alive, and
Yeah.
there's never like every team is kind of good, but there's never a team except for maybe one or two that's like
Well, Texas
You're
and
great.
Oklahoma.
Texas and Oklahoma kind of were that, but I mean you would also
no, it was just Texas kind of
but
sucked.
you could make that argument
Big 12.
about a lot,
Oklahoma
like
was
Big
that for a
10
while,
now
then
too.
Texas was like that for a while.
See, like you could the bigger these power conferences get, they're gonna like
The more top
cannibalize.
heavy they're going to be.
Yeah, no,
True.
they're just gonna cannibalize
True.
a lot of the bottom
But I
tiers.
do think there's something to that. I feel like the media and just like preseason perception of Big 12 football of late has been off.
Yeah,
Like-
it's like one of the best conferences in football, like easily.
Like the year TCU made its run.
From
Baylor.
what do you mean by
Right,
that?
Baylor.
Like it's like everyone talks
What do you
SEC,
mean by
Big
that?
10, and then I think they get. Sorry, Jackson. I think they give the ACC a lot more love than it deserves in football.
Well, you're not offending me.
I think the Big 12 needs to be the next up like conference, but usually it's like
I think the Big 12 probably has a higher number of competent, good teams at the top, whereas the
Yeah.
ACC always has like a Florida State or a Clemson or a Miami that's like really, really good.
I think ACC got a lot of love because Clemson winning national championships, and that's why. But talk about what I mean.
Yeah, let me
where
go
do you want to
through-
start, Pat? There's
let me
a
go.
lot on
Yeah,
there.
there's a lot that happened. Let me go through. I'll start with my team first. And
Also, a quick ad break before Pat jumps into it. This Big 12 segment is brought to you by Red Bull. Red Bull gives you wings.
You can't say that. You can't freaking say that.
We're going to have to bleep that out.
You can't say that it gives you wings because it doesn't.
yeah.
Shout out to Red Bull. Their
Oh,
advertisement says it gives you wings.
Yep.
But
Somebody
it
won a lawsuit. because of
Literally
that.
will not.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
I thought that was like because they're not a paid partner, we can't like say that on the pod.
Oh
You're
no,
saying
I was
it,
just
like,
saying that.
physically
Like, I don't want
doesn't-
people to like
Yeah.
think that it
no,
actually gives
Red
you
Bull
wings.
doesn't give you
I
wings.
do appreciate you clarifying that because for a second I was wondering. Like,
No,
what
no,
my-
they can. Yeah, they're
like
not.
what
They're
my
also
wings
not a
would
paid
look like.
partner.
Would I be able to fly?
Which listener of this podcast do you think would actually think Red Bull gives them
I
wings?
know, dude. No one.
Probably Cooper.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Probably Cooper.
Okay.
All right, Pat.
Anyways,
Give us what'd your team do?
Oklahoma State. I'll go through Oklahoma State, Utah real quick. Oklahoma State lost by I guess the scoreboard would not show, but they were outgunned, they were outlasted, outmanned. Every single aspect of this game went in Utah's favor, and Oklahoma State could not get anything going. The 22-19 score is honestly, that's crazy that it ended up being like that.
Yeah.
Poorly executed game on both sides of the ball for Oklahoma State. Utah didn't even play that great.
No.
Isaac Wilson, Zach Wilson's younger brother,
That's crazy to me.
it's not good at
Yeah.
all. Like, he filling in for Cam Rising, who was injured again this week.
Was he injured in the game?
What?
Injured in the game in this game? Or
Cam
he just,
Rising?
Yeah. Or
No,
he didn't
No,
play.
he didn't play.
But Isaac Wilson, not good. Very chokes under pressure. Still, freaking lost. And the frustrating part was we could not get any kind of offense going. Ollie Gordon is stumped. I'm stumped as an Oklahoma State fan, going from a man who was a Heisman contender last year, who led the nation in rushing yards, and is now
Was a top 3 betting favorite coming into this season.
No, actually, no, he wasn't. He was not.
What?
He was not a top 3 betting favorite. He was like very, very far down.
Yeah.
Very far down.
Yeah, dude.
Which
Check your
Vegas-
sources.
Which I
What's
thought was
going on
crazy.
with Vegas?
Yeah, dude. Vegas is wrong,
Because I
man.
bet him.
Well, they're right.
They
I
were
guess,
right.
Here.
They were
They're
right.
right here.
Yeah.
But how do they know? How do they know that?
Yeah, it's just crazy.
But it just seems like every single team that Oklahoma State's played knows how to shut Ollie Gordon down now, which is kind of sad. But
That is sad.
we move on. Utah was a tough opponent. We'll look at our schedule moving forward. Utah might be really good. Their defense looks great.
Yeah.
Their offense right now is at a standstill without Cam Rising.
Kinda
However,
herky-jerky.
if I were to tell you, if I were to ask you the question,
Ask away.
I'd say
if-
probably not.
if
Yeah.
somebody averaged almost 7.5 yards a carry, how many times do you think they carried the ball?
if they average 7.5 yards a carry, I would say I would pump that number under 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess
Probably,
what?
yeah.
Micah Bernard from Utah rushed the ball 25 times for 182 yards.
Oh my
Dude.
god, he averaged 7.5 yards on how many carries?
25.
Oh,
That's pretty good.
Damn, son.
That's crazy.
182 yards. Granted, he's not in Heisman contention because he only has 1 touchdown on the season, but he has 450 yards of rushing. Obviously not comparable to our good old guy at Boise State. However,
jaunty.
My guy Ashton.
I'm going to put him on Heisman watch. I think there's potential that if he can continue the dominance against the rest of the Big 12, like this
How's-
man,
How's he performed so like prior to this game? Or do you know? If not, it's fine. I'm curious.
17 carries for 123,
Okay.
19 carries for 118.
Oh wow.
Game
Okay.
1, they destroyed. I'm sure he barely played because he only had 5 carries for 33 yards.
Okay, so this guy's okay. He's got the resume.
He's legit, and I mean
Yeah.
the past 2 games he's had very long runs.
what you need.
Very like his longest run this past game was 62 yards. He knows how to break through contact.
Yeah.
He is the Ollie Gordon, which
That's so
is
wild.
frustrating.
Should we talk about the team?
Yeah, we'll talk
Yeah,
about.
we need none. Is that
Wait, which team?
I want to
talking-
go into the Mormons before I go to
Let's go to the Mormons.
Instagram stars.
Kansas State.
also? Go ahead.
Sorry. Kansas State chokes.
Yeah.
In
Big time.
BYU territory. We thought Kansas State, honestly, at this point, was kind of the betting favorite to win the Big 12.
Yeah, they've looked good.
BYU destroyed them.
BYU has gotten better every week. It's I've weirdly watched a lot of BYU football because they've played in the very like Wednesday, Thursday night slot because they're supposed to be bad. But they keep winning, and it's fascinating just how live. Did you see the punt return from what was his name? Splinter? And then
Master Splinter was
Master
his name.
Splinter returns it. Was it like 97 yards after
I think it was 90 yards.
like not catching it, or it was bouncing and he like almost got hit every which way, and then they cut to him on the sideline and he's just blowing chunks, just sitting down, just blowing, and they kept the camera on him way too long,
Like
It was
uncomfortably
long. It was insane to watch. Because it's not like I don't know if he's like out there that much. He was very out of breath, like, and just sick from running that back. It was crazy, but I've never seen a team more defeated. There's been blowouts this week. It's insane across the board. But BYU, hats off, shout out. I don't know if they're good, but that was a great performance. They're getting better. We'll see what happens. I've known nothing about their schedule or who they play.
I mean, they've already gotten a road win at SMU, which is whatever you think about SMU. That's
which
still
SMU,
still pretty impressive.
Yeah. They have a road win at SMU. They have a ranked win, a massive, massive ranked win against Kansas State. I mean, they play Oklahoma State in 3 weeks and then Utah at the beginning of November. So they've got themselves a schedule ahead of them. Looking at another team in the Big 12 that is kind of flying under the radar is Iowa State. They're just creeping slowly, very slowly up the ranks. Look pretty good. That win at Iowa is gonna look good. I don't think Iowa's a bad team at all. I just think they're Iowa.
They're Iowa, man.
They can't score the ball much, but Iowa State creeping in. Again,
did y'all talk about the fact that BYU's quarterback is Jewish? Did y'all touch on that yet?
Whoa.
No.
Yeah.
No, we looked it up during the game. You don't have to be Mormon to play football there. And so that's kind of crazy.
He's got a slogan now after that win. Everyone's calling him, this is...
Think about what you say before you say it.
This is going to get clipped and spread all over the internet, Binky. Just be careful.
I don't know what you're going to say.
I don't think
I'm
it's
excited
bad.
to hear.
Trust me, I know when I'm about to say something bad. I don't think it's bad. I think it's great. BYU fans are calling him the BY Jew.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
That's
Which I think it's great.
Okay.
I love that.
Fighting BY Jew.
Yeah, come on. I love it.
All right, that's it. I just had to get that out of my...
I mean, Utah continues to move on. Cam Rising should be back this week, hopefully. Honestly, I want to see this man play. I don't want another year of eligibility under his belt.
Appreciate all you're doing for the sport, Cam.
And then we can go into the crazy game. Colorado Baylor at Colorado goes into overtime on a insane Hail Mary.
That
Which
was the
was-
second Hail Mary. Did y'all watch any of the end of the game?
To be
at
honest,
all?
no, I did not watch.
I was
I saw the
boycotting
highlights.
Colorado, so
I saw
There
the
was-
last Hail Mary.
There was like 8 seconds left, and Shadur threw it down the field, and it hit the receiver in the hands at the 2-yard line with 2 seconds left, and he dropped it. And all the tweets were like,
So back to
back Hail Marys. And then
That's
Shadur
crazy.
rolls out. The guy almost gets the ball too. Like they're inches away from just like getting Shadur when he rolled out of the pocket. Throws into triple coverage and like I don't know how you don't knock that ball down if you're Baylor, but Wester catches it. It's a catch.
It looked like he slipped.
Yeah, he slipped and it fell
I guess,
right into perfect placement.
At first, I was looking at it, I was like, man, that could have been offensive PI. But then I was like, wait, he kind of just like came off the coverage and tried to anticipate that ball was going short.
Yeah.
Because he kind of just slipped.
Yeah. It was insane to watch. And then they pull it out in overtime. Baylor, if you're a Baylor fan, I'd feel so bad because you should have won that game. But Colorado lives on, and they have 3 wins under their belt. So Binky, I guess checking in, how are you feeling about a 9-win season for Colorado? Still just super confident it's not going to happen?
Okay, I would say
Let's just do a pulse check.
I'm confident.
You're confident.
I'm confident.
Okay.
I'm not super confident, but I'm confident.
Okay. What were you at the beginning of the season then? So die hard.
The easiest $500 I've ever made.
Yeah, we'll see.
Now it's like, okay, they're playing a little bit better than I thought, even though, I mean, it was Baylor.
If there was a cash out button right now and you could cash out for...
No, I'm holding.
No,
I'm
I would
holding the
hold.
line.
Here's why I would hold. They've got UCF this week at UCF.
Yeah,
UCF
that's
is
tough.
a 14.5 point favorite.
Which that I don't like that at all. 14.5.
That's tough.
That's how bad Colorado is, bro.
Colorado's bad.
Colorado is in a weird
Colorado's
spot
bad.
where they themselves are like one of those teams where like everyone hates them so much that they're just almost like underdogs in every game because they're all so bad. But it almost fires them up more and
think
gives
that's
them more reason to play.
I think that's honestly true. I
Because
think
their
that's a great
offensive
point.
line was so bad against Nebraska in the past two
It's
games.
one of the worst coach units I've ever seen on a football field.
And it's just
It's crazy.
They've done what needs to be done, I guess. Like Shadur is getting these passes off because he's just an athlete, but it's fascinating. I'm still gonna keep watching them.
They beat a bad Colorado State team. They
Yeah.
potentially beat a bad Baylor team.
Potentially, or
Like,
Baylor's bad. We don't know.
UCF might be pretty good. Kansas State, they played the week after that. Then they've got Arizona. Then they've got Cincinnati, Texas Tech, Utah, Kansas, and they finished the season with Oklahoma State in their stadium. So
Yeah, the
I will
UCF
say-
and Utah game. I'm worried about that, but I just don't know about these other games. I feel like
all right, man.
I don't know.
They're not a good team.
I'll
It's
say
like-
from looking at this, it looks like they will lose 4 more games.
I mean, they have to win 6 more games to hit.
Hit this line, yeah, which
Which means they have to either beat Kansas State, Utah, or Oklahoma State. Like they cannot lose to all 3.
yeah. We'll see.
Let's
Let's go ahead and go
Let's
to the
go
Big
Big
Ten.
Ten.
We're
We're really
we're
short.
making a lot.
Yeah.
This is a long
Yeah.
week.
Can
Yeah,
I share
let's-
some realignment breaking news?
Yeah.
The Athletic.
Uh-oh.
The Athletic, not the Althetic. The
Yeah.
Athletic has learned that Utah State has been offered a spot in the Pac-12.
Oh, really? The Aggies?
Shout out Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Interesting. Well, that's
All right,
interesting.
we're gonna burn through Big Ten.
Yeah, 'cause
and
no one cares.
G5 I do want to talk about because it's a mess right now. But let's burn through Big Ten because they're unbelievable.
Well, I just want to say I apologize to all these listeners and viewers. We're at 47 minutes right now. And we haven't even finished.
We're
doing
gonna be good. We're
doing really
gonna
good.
finish at
Picking up
115.
the pace. Big Ten. Michigan bounces back. They beat USC. Not much to say. Miller did not moss on the field like we thought. We thought that it was going to go down, but it didn't. Maybe USC. I mean, they could have won. They're probably still good, but who knows? Michigan might actually be pretty good at defense.
Pretty much every other game besides Michigan, USC, I look at here. Marshall, Ohio State, who cares?
Illinois,
UCLA,
Nebraska.
UCLA,
time.
That was
LSU,
big
who
time.
cares? Charlotte, Indiana, who cares? Villanova, Maryland, who extra cares?
Illinois is good.
Kent State, Penn
Illinois is
State,
good.
who cares? Rutgers, Virginia Tech, hilarious game.
Yeah.
Shout out Rutgers, big win for them.
Yeah.
Northwestern, Washington, who cares? Iowa, Minnesota, who cares? Michigan State, Boston College, who cares?
Boston
And
College won.
Purdue, Oregon State, who cares? Illinois, Nebraska, that was a good game.
Yeah.
We all picked Nebraska to win last week, and we all lost.
We ate crow. We
I'm
believed
not
in Matt
trusting
Rule,
little
which is-
Patrick Mahomes anymore.
But did y'all see the stat that Nebraska 400th straight sellout, which is an insane stat for how bad they've
They've
been.
been sold
Yeah,
out
they've
since
got a
little,
1962.
Their like card flip thing where it like spelled out a message. There was like a card in every seat, and they like held it up and it spelled out like the 400 straight sellout or whatever. That's a really
So
cool shot. Really
yeah.
cool.
Shout out to the fans there. They're loyal.
They are loyal.
through the Scott Frost era, through everything, and I think they'll still be good. They're still in a good place, but
Yeah.
it's like
They're not a
pretty wild.
playoff contender, but they're
Yeah.
they're on the right track. They're doing
Yeah.
well. They're going to be really good next year.
And that's Big Ten. Let's talk about some of the Group 5 teams. Crazy score lines. Some teams that are undefeated still, JMU and Liberty. Memphis lost to Navy. Navy passed the ball, which is crazy.
Navy's defense
won.
looked good.
Defense looked really good. Boise State is ranked and dangerous. I hate when everything is coming the way everybody thought it would, but everybody said Boise's going to be good, and they're really good. Ashan Gentry is still top 10 for Heisman odds, and he's still balling out. And they have a big game this week as well against Wazoo, yeah. JMU, as we said earlier, it baffles me that JMU is able to do this because they lost their head coach, they lost a lot of players, and they lost their star quarterback, and they are undefeated, and they just put up 70 on North Carolina, who is, say what you will, they're still a Power 5 school. And so it's interesting to see Sunbelt's wide open. App State is in mourning still.
Yeah, I mean, Boise State's holding the lead right now for that G5 bid. Again, we're only 4 games into the season, which just makes me so happy to think we all still have 8 games. Oh, it's beautiful.
We'll still see some action.
The G5's a mess.
It is a mess.
Boise's the clear front runner, but
that bid might go to anyone at this point. I don't know.
It's going to be very interesting.
End of the season, if JMU could go undefeated, and I don't know what you do if they're undefeated and Boise's undefeated. I think you'd obviously go with Boise since they're higher ranked. But
I don't know. We don't know what the rankings will be like at that point.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Liberty plays at App this week. I hope the App fans left at halftime, so maybe just stay the whole game this time. See what happens.
You sound so sad.
Depressing.
We're doing a whiteout, and all the old fans are really mad about it. But App is going to unveil their snowcap logo, which is like an A with a snowcap on it, and it's an all-white uniform. So
nice.
They haven't done it since the 80s.
Some would say it's kind of icy.
Yeah, dude. It's some drip. We'll see. So
that would be fresh.
Sean Clark, please do something.
Let's go ahead and get into some of Dalton's Juice's picks.
We'll shoot it over to Juice.
Some picks from last week.
What you got?
What's up, intentional grounding listeners? I got a quick soundbite to start us off for the betting corner.
And also, coach, just quickly, your dog Juice back off injury reserve. How great was it to have him out there fully healthy?
Yeah, he seemed to do good. Stayed on sides. I guess we don't do the kickoff thing with him. I don't watch him. Probably looking at an iPad already. But so I think he's adjusting back to being full strength.
And that is how we are entering into this week. Last week we went 4-2, and so we're entering back in with some strength, which is great. Last week, a couple highlights. Our sim game hit, which was the over in Marshall versus Ohio State. We took Arkansas to beat Auburn by 4 and drilled that one. I should never have bet on Gilly's team and App. They let us down against South Alabama. Tennessee rolling over Oklahoma was huge for us, and that Mizzou Vandy game just kind of caught me by surprise. So we went 4-2. We're 12-11 overall, so sitting right around 500. But we're hoping this week takes us home. This week, I have a couple just off the top bets. I love Notre Dame money line. I also love Oklahoma State money line, riding with Ricky. Another bet that is going to be my best beat of the week is Boise State to cover 7. My free money bet is Oklahoma to cover 2. And then my sim game of the week is Oregon to cover 24 against UCLA. I have a weird feeling that NCAA is not going to bless me there, but we will see. And then my game of the week, I got to take Georgia money line. I think they'll shake the cobwebs off. I think the Kentucky game woke them up. So that's what I have for you this week. As always, good luck, safe betting, and enjoy your Saturday. Juice out.
Thanks, Juice.
All right.
Crazy picks.
Another excellent week inbound.
Insane thoughts on that.
I loved your second pick there.
Yeah.
That was great.
First pick got me kind of steamed. But what games we got this week for our picks? Or should we do a recap first of where we stand? I went 1-5. Really thought I was going to go undefeated. Binky also...
This is a tough week for me. It's probably my worst week I've had.
Well, you went 2 and
3.
2 and 3.
2 and 5.
2 and 5.
Jackson wins.
You betted some more games.
2 and 3 as well.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm still in last at 9 and 11. And no jokes. And who's
Moment of silence.
And
Juice is ahead right
crazy
now.
enough, Juice is in the lead
with 14.
after we slandered him last week.
Yeah,
so
this is good. He's taking
he
the
bounced
lead.
back. He bounced back in those bets and in those picks.
Sweet.
So we'll go ahead and I guess
Let's
get
pick
into
our
some of
games.
our slate this week. Game 1, Illinois at Penn State. Big old spread here, minus 17.5 in Penn State's favor. Jackson, who you got?
I love the Illinois story. Penn State is a wagon. They're really good.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't think they're getting talked about enough. I don't know that they're going to be competing for a national title or anything, but Andy Kotelnicki, is that how you say his name? The OC that came from Kansas has unlocked that offense. And I think the more interesting thing here is how close do they get to the spread?
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason this number is this big. Like, similar to people talking about the NC State game last week at Clemson. Very different team than Illinois, but I like Penn State.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Illinois, dude, because I don't learn from my mistakes at all, and I have a good feeling here. So ride with me if you want to.
All right.
Thank you. Who you got?
I'm gonna go Penn State. Give me Penn State. I mean, I think Penn State's they're really good this year. Have they played anybody really? No, but I mean, I guess technically Illinois is more battle tested than Penn State is. But the fact that this is in Happy Valley, Drew Aller is maybe hasn't been as elite as some anticipated him to be for Penn State this year, but he's still a hell of a football player. He's not a coach.
Yeah, he's a football coach.
Give me the Nittany Lions, please.
Love it.
Yeah, give me Penn State as well. I don't think this will really be that much of a game at all. I think Penn State will cover this spread pretty easily. I don't think Illinois is anything special. Again, like when we get into the nitty gritty of Big Ten football, you're looking at your top tier schools that always end up coming out on top. I think Penn State will take this pretty easily.
Love it. Next game we got is Oklahoma State at Kansas State. Jackie, who you got?
Sorry, I was just studying up on the last time that Illinois and Penn State played in Happy Valley when Illinois won 20-18 in 9 overtime.
What year?
That was 2021.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, wow. The Sean Clifford special of losing a game you shouldn't late in the season. Anyways, back to the task at hand. I like Kansas State to bounce back. I did ride with the Pokes last week. I don't know what's up with Ollie Gordon, man. Like, I haven't dug in enough to see if it's teams loading the box against him or what, if it's a step back in O-line play. But I think both of these teams are trying to bounce back from results that they are unhappy about. And I think getting this one at home for Kansas State, I think Avery Johnson and them will bounce back.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Kansas State as well here. I think if they didn't get embarrassed last week against BYU, I might go with Oklahoma State, but I don't know. This is a good game because they're both coming off losses, but at Kansas State, I think they have the edge, and yeah, I don't see them losing 2 in a row in conference foes.
That's fair. Oh man, this is hard. I still actually don't have my answer. Kansas State, Avery Johnson. I'll hand up. I'll own that. I've been high on him since the beginning of the season. He does have great hair,
beautiful locks.
He might not be that guy though.
Yeah,
he might not be that guy.
I don't think he is.
I really want to take Oklahoma State here because I was just in the great state, the beautiful state of Oklahoma, where there is in fact no love. Give me the Cowboys.
Wow,
I'm going to Oklahoma State here.
Hey,
I think that's a rough loss for Oklahoma State. I think, I think Mike Gundy has proven to be a hell of a coach, and he's a perennial 10-win team.
Here.
Also, probably the best here in college football.
Yeah.
He's too good of a coach, in my opinion, to march into Manhattan and lose this game, especially when I think Oklahoma State expects to be in the playoff this year, and I still think that they can. So, yeah, give me the Cowboys here. I like it. I like it a lot, actually.
Love it. Rick, who you got?
I am. You know what? I'm gonna have to do it, man. I'm riding with my Pokes.
Love it.
There you go.
It's hard for me not to. Like, I know I feel like a really good choice here would just be to take Kansas State, but my heart can't do that. I'm gonna ride with the Pokes. I think they'll bounce back. They played a tough game against probably the best team in the conference, and Utah is good. BYU is good, but I don't think they're that great.
Yeah.
I think Kansas State choked big time. I think they'll do it again at home.
Okay.
And I can see this one being very close.
Okay.
Very, very close. But I'm not going to say anything about Ollie Gordon because I don't trust that it'll be a bounce-back game. I just don't think it's his season.
That's fair.
But I'll go with the Pokes.
All right. Louisville at Notre Dame. Jack, who you got?
I'm trying not to channel my inner Gilly, but I think I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I got Louisville.
Let's go.
Notre Dame's a 6.5 point favorite. Jeff Brom has done a good job of piecing together a roster that kind of goes under the radar to start the year, and they just keep beating the shit out of teams.
Yep.
And that is good.
Yeah.
And they have not lost a stinker like Notre Dame has.
Yeah, that's true.
Some folks were trying to get Riley Leonard's backup in, I think, this last game.
Yeah.
Like, Marcus Freeman had to address, like, hey, we're not putting in this Steve guy.
Yeah.
So confidence
Shut up
might
about
not be.
Steve.
Yeah, shout out Steve. No offense, dog. I don't know. Give me Louisville.
Love
This will
it.
be a fun game to watch.
I'm going to go with the Irish. I think Riley's going to get it together. I like them at Notre Dame. I think it's a tough place to win if you're not a Maction team. So, yeah, I think they're going to pull through. I think it's going to be a close game, though.
Give me Notre Dame. Louisville allowed 300 passing yards from Haynes King this past weekend. They did win, but I think, and granted, Riley Leonard did throw his first passing touchdown of the year this past week, but I think that things are going to open up for him a little bit in this game. I don't think Louisville's passing defense is super great this year based off what we've seen so far. So, I mean, Riley Leonard, I think he's gonna have 100 rushing yards in this game. I think he's gonna throw for over 200. That is my
bold.
Hey,
that's my bet there.
Bold. All right, Ricky.
Yeah, give me Louisville. I think at the beginning of the season,
let's ride.
maybe I could be wrong. Maybe I picked them to be like the underdog team. I'm gonna keep riding with Louisville until they lose.
Yeah.
Surely they don't lose one of the three big games surely they don't lose more than one of the big three games they have. I don't think it's going to be against Notre Dame. I would rather take that loss against Clemson or Miami. So give me Louisville here.
Love it. All right, next we got Wazoo at Boise State. Jackson, who's your take?
I really like Binky's pick.
Yeah.
For Wazoo, Boise State.
Insane.
The Cardinals of Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville's gonna win. Yeah.
I'm
Look at
really
the screen, man.
I'm really interested to see. Like, I want to pick Wazoo for all the like Wazoo lore of like the game day flag and like all the canon, like what's happened to Wazoo and how they just keep persisting and showing up and winning.
Yeah.
Playing fun football. Give me Boise.
Love it. Future Pac-12 matchup right here. Future rivals, maybe. Give me Boise. I think playing at Boise is going to be tough. There's going to be dead birds on the field. The whole shebang. That blue is just going to blind Wazoo. They don't know anything about Idaho. So give me the horses of Boise State. Bink?
Yep, give me Boise State.
Yep.
I just checked. Wazoo barely beat San Jose State. They beat them in double overtime, 54-52. Not a good look. That doesn't make me super excited about Wazoo in this game. And I think Ashton Jaunty is. I think he's the real deal. So I think he's gonna put up some nummies in this game and carry them on to. over 12-point win here.
Love it. Rick?
I like that. Give me Boise State as well.
All across the board.
I think this was a stupid game to pick. I'm sorry. I knew we were all going to pick Boise State. There was no point in picking this
Jackson
game.
was like, let's do Boise Wazoo. I was like, all right, he's going to pick Wazoo. All right, yeah. He's got
But
some
I was,
takes.
and then I wasn't.
give me Boise State here. I think Chauncey just
Runs all over him.
solidifies probably part of his Heisman campaign. We'll see. That would be crazy if a group of 5 player won the Heisman
That'd be nuts.
in the first year of the playoff.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right.
All right, last game, Georgia at Alabama. Jackson, who you got?
I've gone back and forth on this one like 3 times, but
Same.
As you should.
I think Bama is undervalued a tad bit
Okay.
relative to like the national perception, but Kirby knows everything about this matchup. Like, I don't know. I'm going to go with the guy who's been here before
Okay.
in this matchup and understands what comes with it. And I know Kalen DeBoer's an excellent coach, but I think I just got to go with the dogs.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I'm going to go Alabama because I need some wins. And as well, I think they can actually win. I think this is going to be a close game. I think Alabama gives them the edge. I think Georgia showed their hand against Kentucky of like, oh, they're not invincible. Even though they won that game, they can be beat. And Kalen DeBoer is still trying to prove himself. He'll have that team ready. He's a good coach. They're a good team, obviously. So I think Alabama will pull it through. Bank.
Give me Georgia.
Okay.
There we
I'm
go.
taking Georgia. I think Georgia's going to win this game. I think it's going to be Bama's first loss, and Tennessee's going to finish them off.
It's always
there in
thinking about
October.
like through the lens of like, what would this mean for Tennessee?
No,
Right.
truly.
What's the best bang for the strength of schedule?
Yeah. It's
Who's
like,
that coming down the track?
Yeah.
It's a mean machine in red and black. I hate Georgia, but I hate Bama more. So
Love it. Rick, who you got?
God, dude, I'm taking Alabama here. The crazy thing is, Georgia has only beaten Alabama once in the past 16 years.
Saban's not there anymore.
Great, guess
though.
what? Saban's not there anymore. They're still a good football team.
Yeah.
And
Their coach was in the national championship last year.
the last time they beat Alabama, granted it was a couple years ago.
I really don't like my Georgia pick.
In the
I really don't like it, but I'm rolling
national
with it.
Flip
championship.
it so I
but,
can get one up on you.
man, I'm taking
taking Bama?
Alabama. I think Bama's again the real deal. I don't think Georgia is. I could also be undervaluing Georgia there. I still think they're a really, really good team, but Bama just has a history with beating Georgia down.
Yeah. This could be a blowout.
I'm sticking with it.
I'm going.
Sticking with it.
I'm going with Bama and home in Tuscaloosa. Oh,
Not that crazy, but
all right.
home field advantage.
All right.
Just gonna be honest. All right.
All right. That's our show.
That's it.
That's our show, man.
Thank you
This
for
one was a
tuning
little
in.
long. Appreciate you guys being patient. We love you.
Thanks for the supporters, for the donations.
To that one man in Oklahoma.
Yes,
We're
to that
coming
one
for you.
man.
My throat still hurts.
Yep.
Not
yeah.
gonna work.
Yeah.
All right.
Amazing.
Are you kidding me?
All right.
We'll see y'all in the next week's
Like and
episode.
subscribe.
He
Like
choked
your questions.
me. Okay, he choked.
Oh, you're not making it better. You're not
Bye.
making it better. Bye.